Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Sorry, I know I'm late, but it was a matter of it's raining here so much in Limuru. I don't know where you are. Is it raining? Those who are in class already? I want to hear somebody who is in class to answer the lesson. I cannot start the lesson alone. So, talk to me. Who is there? Who is watching? Who is watching? Who is with me? You want to start this lesson? The mall. Who is with me? I welcome you to the mall. We want to discuss it in the next few minutes. We are going to take like 1 hour. We have I've split it into 2 sessions. Three. First for this weekend, next weekend, and the other weekend. So we are starting with the basics of the mall. Beverly, thank you for confirming that you are with me. Who else is with us today? Who is here with us? Beverly, where are you watching me from? You have always been a very good follower of mine. Nataka to discuss some basics ya mall kidogo. And I always tell people, what are some of the concepts that you have previously learned in the other forms that you will require to apply in the topic mall? That is, I'm starting from there. What are some of the concepts that we previously learned in Form 2, in gas laws, that we can apply to our topic today? Beverly, am I loud and clear? Anybody who can hear me, tell me that you are loud. Oh, to tell me that I'm clear. I don't have to be loud. Yes? Leo kumenyesha huku kwetu sana. So one of the concepts that you have previously learned that you will require it in the mall is the concept of mass numbers. Is the concept of the atomic numbers. It is the concept of the structure of the atom. We will borrow so much from the structure of the atom and the periodic table in this particular topic of the mall. Why? You will require to know how to write chemical formulas of some compounds like hydrochloric acid, of some compounds like sodium carbonate, of some compounds like sodium hydroxide. You all know the chemicals that we use during the study of the mall. I request that if you can hear me, you write there loud and clear, or no, clear. Can you hear me? Good. Now, so as we are learning this, ensure you know the following concept. Here, kwanza, do you know how to write proper chemical equations? We give you HCl and sodium hydroxide. Will you write a very good chemical equation, well balanced, proper chemical symbols? Will you? I am praying to God that the answer is yes. Do you know how to write proper chemical formulas? This moment, I think I need to write on the board. My board may not be clear because of some settings in my camera, but Beverly, you will be my right person, right man. What can I say now? You are the one that you should be telling me whether the board is clear. I was teaching some people the 5 pillars of success. I remember I was talking of the same when I was in Beverly's class. Now let me ask this. What are the 5 pillars of success? Is your part of the mall? Hii ni kitu kingine tofauti sana. Haina uhusiano na mall, lakini nasema do you know the 5 pillars of success? confidence, consistency, hard work, honesty. You know, those are the various pillars of success. But leo hatujakuja hiyo. Leo nataka tume the word more. And you will tell me whether you can see what I'm writing on the board. That one should be Beverly. And any other person, not just Beverly. I will be writing the word, then you tell me whether you can see what I'm writing on the board. Just one person to confirm that you can see what I've just written on the board. I mean, ndio nilikuwa na ile confidence nzuri ya kusonga mbele. You can request your elder sister ama sister yako mdogo mwambie akulete chai. Pia wewe ukumi. Can you see what I've written on the board more? I just want to confirm kama it's clear whether you can see, because we are supposed to be writing very many chemical equations on the board here. We're supposed to be writing very many chemical formulas. I would need you to be communicating to me. You are 10 in class, and I'm very happy for that. But please communicate to me on two things: whether the board is clear and whether you can hear me. Those two. I'm following on the chat section, and I will appreciate so much. I don't know whether I introduced myself at the beginning of the lesson. My name is Alex. If you call me Mr. Alex, I will beat you. I will chase you out of my class. I will sue you at the court of law, because my name is Sir and not Mr. namna gani kubeba hivyo? So I'm done kunini. Okay, the board is clear. Thank you, Beverly. Beverly, when you open school, come for a gift. So, Beth. Are we together? Now, how many of you are doing physics? Daga tuanzie hapo. How many of you are doing physics? Sawa. You remember, at the time of funny physics, allow me to remind you something small that you did on Form 1 physics. There were what you call the basic physical quantities. There were 7 in number. Okay, if you go on a basic physical quantities, then we have the derived physical quantities. Let me focus on the basic kidogo. One was length, time. Now you yote sitaki mimi nataka hii moja. Amount of substance. What was the SI unit to the amount of substance? You remember the SI unit to the amount of substance was mole. The mole. That was the SI unit to the amount of substance. So we are starting today by defining the term mole. Mole is a noun. Ndio maana atusemangi mole, we have always say the mole. The mole. Now, si mnajua the other topics ya chem, effects of electric current on substances. Kuna ingine inaitwa structure of the atom and the periodic table. The names are very long. Now this one, the name is very short. The mole. Haina maneno mingi. The mole. Alafu, the name of the topic is short, but the topic itself contains very many things. That's why nawaambia nimesplit mara ngapi? Mara tatu. This Saturday, next Saturday, and the other Saturday. Mara. So make sure you follow me one by one until the day tutamaliza the mole. When you will have understood it, and I will be very happy. Can you define for me the term mole? Just type there what the mole is. But anyway, because of time, you will allow me to define for you the term mole. But kuna kitu moja itabidi muniandikie. Because the mole is defined as amount of substance that contains Avogadro's number of particles. Amount of any substance that contains Avogadro's number of particles. What is this Avogadro's number of particles? What is this Avogadro's number of particles? Hiyo nimewazia. It's a value. So the amount of any substance that contains Avogadro's number of particles is termed as the mole. The mole is, so I don't know whether you are writing or amount of any Avogadro's number of particles. That is mole. Particles. That is mole. I hope you can see my board. Yes. Amount of any substance that contains Avogadro's number of particles. The word particles can be replaced with the following words. The word particles can be replaced with the following words. It can be replaced with ions. It can be replaced with atoms. It can be replaced with molecules. So when you are dividing, you can say it is the amount of any substance that contains Avogadro's number of particles. You are correct. Avogadro's number of ions. You are correct. Avogadro's number of atoms. You are still correct. Avogadro's number of molecules. You are still correct in any of those. Now, I'm asking a question. What is the Avogadro's value? It's actually a value that you are supposed to master it. Whether you cram it, whether you or whatever, as long as Avogadro's number, I'm going to give you so that we can be using it all through. Then you include these writings, connect writings, you have a mandate was 2A, ignorance time, upper genius mandate was 3 off, ignore those ones, they are not part of my lesson. It's just some funny settings in my camera, don't worry about that. Now, Avogadro's constant, I want us to be very participating in our lesson. Don't allow me to be participating alone. What is Avogadro's number? Can you write it? 6.023. 6.023. Avogadro's value is 6.023 times 10 power 23. After umeandika power 23 ndio ndio utaamua kama ni particles, atoms, ions, whatever. This value is called Avogadro's constant. So, in fact, somebody can define the mole as any amount, amount of any substance that contains 6.023 times 10 power 23 number of particles. Lakini sasa kwa foi kusema 6.023 hizo maneno mengi, we just use the word Avogadro's. Hii yakona is Avogadro. Lakini kuna ka apostrophe to show ownership. Yes. So that is it. That is what I wanted to know as far as the definition of mole is concerned. Now, let me take you to another very beautiful concept about mole. I want you to understand this thing very well. Now, there's another term I want us to define. Si kila mtu ameelewa mole ni nini? Kuna term nyingine we shall be using on the way. I want us to also define the same, molar mass. Before I define it to you, do you know what a molar mass is? Do you know what a molar mass is? How is molar mass defined? Have you ever heard the word molar mass? Or it's your first time to hear from me? if it's your first time, take your pen and a paper, and your notebook. Of course, yesterday when I was sending invitation to this lesson, I said have a pen because you are supposed to be writing, and a paper. Of course, a paper, I mean a book. Now, what's a molar mass? I wish tungekuwa na watu wenye wanaidefine haraka haraka what a molar mass. Anyway, write this. Ndaka will define molar mass this way. Can you say it is mass in grams of 1 mole of a substance. The mass in grams of 1 mole of a substance is called molar mass. Mass in grams of 1 mole of a substance. Mass in grams of 1 mole of a substance. Grams are in full. G-R-A-M-S. Mass in grams of 1 mole of a substance. That is molar mass. Very important to know what a molar mass is. Yes. Now, hey, nataka nifunze kitu fulani hapa. Let me teach you a very simple concept here. Are you ready? The only response I should get from me is yes. Are you ready? Yes. Now, do we all know the first 20 elements, their atomic number and their mass number? Now, mass number is what is at some point acting as the molar mass. Let me use this example. Sodium metal. By the way, I don't know why. Anytime I'm using anything and I'm supposed to use an example of element. I don't know. What is the atomic number of sodium? It is 11. Sodium is inaandikwa Na. Atomic number is 11. Mass number ya sodium simulajua 23. Wacha nitumie magnesium. Magnesium atomic number 12. Mass number 24. So, in most cases, if you want to get the mass number, it is either times 2 of the atomic number or times 2 plus 1 of the atomic number. You see, sodium mass number is 23, atomic number is 11. So it means 11 times 2 plus 1. For magnesium, this 12 times 2 is 24. Hiyo ainanga maneno mingi. But in this topic, ukishagawa swali ama concept, pale jini unaonanga umeandikiwa Mg equals to 12. It has 24, not 12. Mwingine ameandika Na 23. Utapata mwingine ameandika C 12. Mahali ingine utapata M 14. In simple terms, you are being given the mass numbers. It is a requirement that anybody giving a question that requires mass number to be used somewhere, that you should provide the mass number. But some examiners, I'm not part of those examiners, but some examiners will opt not to provide this. And if it is not provided, you must know them. The more you stay, the more you interact with these things, you will have to know the mass numbers of the various elements. Automatic. The more you read, especially those who have started learning more, the form 2 who are going to form 3, mshaanza kusoma more kidogo hapa na pale. Form 3 who are going to form 4, you've been learning more for so long, so you are used to these things. You are used to them. So, what is the difference between atoms and the molecule? Then our calculation begins from there. If you can define for me atom, or if you can define for me a molecule, then hapo tutakuwa umenitenga. So look at this, look here. Nikiandika O na niandike O2, which one is sodium atom and which one is sodium molecule? What do you say? We have the first one, then we have the second one. This one I will not proceed until you answer me. Can any molecule, can any atom? I'm waiting for you until you answer me from the chat box. Which one is a molecule of oxygen and which one is the atom of oxygen? Tuanzie hapo kwanza. Type hapo. Which one is the kuna first na kuna second. First is a molecule or atom of oxygen. Ya pili, just I need one person aniandikia hapo. Now I will not proceed until I get his response here. If you are watching alongside your sister or brother, mwambie type. Anaogopa kwa type nini? Kwani anaogopa kujibu maswali? Beba ni kwanza wewe ni mwingine. I'm waiting for you. Which one is the atom and which one is the molecule of oxygen? Nimetumia tu hii. Some elements, as I'm waiting for you to type for me, some elements exist as atoms and molecules. Zingine zina exist as atoms alone. For example, potassium. Unaandikanga tu K. Ile siku utaandika K2 as the symbol for potassium. You and your family members and your neighbors, we will chase you out of Kenya. Itabidi mwende mjitafutie country yenu ingine. The 10 of you are watching this lesson. Nobody knows which one is a molecule and which one is an atom. Why? Oh, Beverly ameamua kuongea. Ya kwanza ni atom. Umefuta tena ndio correct Beverly. The first one is atom. This is the atom. And this is the molecule. Are you together? They exist as atoms alone. Now, I want us to get to some simple calculation. Kidogo tu. And I will be using some few elements here and there. Then, at your own free time, apply yourself. Now, oxygen atom O iko na molar mass ya 16. Sawa? Mpaka hapo kwanza you are okay. Oxygen atom iko na molar mass ya 16. Oxygen molecule iko na molar mass ya 32. Why? It is made up of 2 atoms of oxygen. Hapo tuko sawa? So ikiwa hivi baada kwanza penye nataka ujue. Because the example I want to use for us to calculate the number of atoms and molecules ni example yenye natumia oxygen. Are we together? So 1 mole, if you are told to calculate atoms, it is different from when you are told to calculate the number of molecules. Swali tu kenye nataka kuuliza. Tumesema how did we divide molar mass? Tumesema molar mass is the mass in grams of 1 mole of a substance. So 1 mole of oxygen contains 32 grams. Are you together? 1 mole of oxygen has 32 grams. The oxygen I'm talking about is the molecule. 1 mole of oxygen molecule consists or contains 32 grams. Now, if you are told to calculate the number of molecules available in 6 grams of oxygen, yani from nowhere, examiner akwambia calculate the number of molecules contained by 6 grams of oxygen. Sasa mzanga 6 grams zimetokea wapi? Molecules zimetokea wapi? Hey, you remember the Avogadro's constant? Nataka tuandike pale kwa kona so that you will be referring to it now and then, because you will actually require it so much. So if you have this value 6.023 times 10 power 23 atoms ama molecules. So now examiner is telling you to calculate the number of molecules of 6 grams of oxygen. Mwingine akwambie calculate atoms. So there are two things I want us to calculate today: atoms and molecules of 6 grams of oxygen. Where are we starting about this? Where is our unpacking point so that we can work on the model? We can calculate the atoms, we can calculate the molecules. Nataka tuanzie hapa. You just tell us that 32 grams contains 6.023 times 10 power 23 molecules. What about 6 grams? Are we together? And if you are asked about the atoms, tumeelewana 16 grams, because unajua atoms, ukiambiwa calculate atoms are many. Unajua sasa atom ni kamoja, kamekaa kamoja hivyo, ingine hivyo, lakini molecule kameshikana mbili mbili. So if you have to calculate molecules, in fact you will see right now the answer of the 6 grams of molecules of oxygen will be less, because lazima ukutanishe mbili mbili, lakini atoms kanakaa moja moja. So the answer to the atoms will be a greater value than the answer to the molecules. Are you together? Girls and boys. Na mtaniambia which school are you? Kila mtu aniambie anasoma shule gani? Ukuniandikia hapo represent your teacher there. Sema niko Thika High. My teacher is so and so. Itamfikia by the way. Itamfikia imemfikia. Niko Loreto. My teacher is so and so. Ukuniandikia niko Limuru Girls. My teacher is so and so. Just write for me there. Most teachers are following, so they will know whether you are in or not. Now, let's calculate the atoms first. 16 grams. Molar mass always we don't give units, but when we are doing this, because I want to equate, I will talk of 16 grams to be contained in, or to contain 6.023 times 10 power 23 atoms. What about ile tumeulizwa? What about 6 grams? If you have to calculate the molecules, I will still say 16 grams, not 16 grams, 32 grams, 6 contains 6.023 times 10 power 23 molecules. What about tumeulizwa? Then you cross multiply. You will realize that the answer you will get here is half of the answer you will get here. So let's proceed. I will not do it for you, but use your calculator. You will notice that the answer you will get here, ukicompare na the answer yenye utapata hapa, hii ni kubwa kuliko hii, because it is 6 times this divided by 16. 6 times this divided by 32. When the denominator is big or large, it makes the answer small. Are we together? Good. Now, let me continue with my concepts this way. If Now, you know, the examiner ametumia mass, amekupea mass. Akwambia, calculate the number of atoms of 6 grams of oxygen. Calculate the number of atoms of molecules of 6 grams of oxygen. What if the examiner decides to say, what if the examiner decides to say, calculate the number of molecules of 0.43 moles of oxygen. Calculate the number of molecules of 0.43 moles of oxygen. Utaanza wapi? Umalizie wapi? Uelekee wapi? Calculate the number of molecules of 0.43 moles of oxygen. Kama kawaida, do this. Unakumbuka ile, you know, 1 mole of oxygen 1 mole of oxygen contains 6.023 times 10 power 23 molecules or atoms or whatever the question has asked. What about a 0.43? So if your Avogadro's constant, it is working out very many things. Yeah, so this is what we are going to use. So 1 mole contain this number of particles, ions, atoms, molecules. What about the one that you have been asked? Are you together? Yes. So now, let me touch on something small. Some other elements like potassium, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, most of the metals do not exist in molecule state. They exist just in atomic state. That's why I say it. Nilisema mara kwanza, kuna vitu ukifanya nikupata umeandika sodium hivi. Bana bwana, hii wewe na familia yenu na majirani wenu wote tutawatoa nje ya Kenya, tutawafukuza kwa hii Kenya. Hata chief wenu tutamfuta kazi. Now, when it comes to those elements which do not exist as molecules, we will only be asking you to calculate their atoms, the number of atoms, whereby 1 mole is equivalent to 6.023 times 10 power 23 atoms, or kama ni potassium, which is potassium, si mnajua iko na namba gani? 2881. So that is 19. So their mass number is 39. So here 39 grams is equivalent to 6.023 times 10 power 23 atoms. What about the mass yenye umeulizwa? Then from there you will work out very well. So I want us to see, how do we calculate? I'm going to put the first formula. You know, so far we've just been doing some basics of the mole, but this mole, how do we calculate it? We calculate mole this way. Mole, moles, let me, because it will be included, is given by mass over molar mass, which, when I say molar mass, this molar mass belongs to an atom. Lakini if I will be talking about a compound, I will talk about relative formula mass, RFM, or I can also talk of molecular mass, which is MM. MM stands for molecular mass or molar mass. Yes, so to calculate the number of moles, you need the mass in grams, over either the molar mass, the relative formula mass, or the molecular mass. Unajua kuna watu wanashangaa hizi ni gani? Nikiandika hivi sodium na niandike 23, this is the molar mass to sodium. That is the molar mass. Lakini nikiandika hivi, nikiandika sodium hydroxide, hii ni 40 because 23 plus 16 plus 1 inanipea 40. Nikiandika hivi, this one will be relative formula mass. Are you together? Some people are calling me, they don't know that I'm very busy teaching students. Hii concept tumeshika RFM, MM and molar mass. Well, so now if you want to calculate the moles, use the two, molar mass and mass. And of course, if you're told to calculate the molar mass or RFM of a given compound, it will be mass over moles. And if you have to get the mass, it is RFM times the number of moles. I want us to do this one example. Have your calculator with you. Tufanye example moja. Tufanye example kamoja tu. Calculate the mass of 0.4 moles of calcium. Calculate the mass of 0.4 moles of calcium. Calculate the mass. Calculate the mass. It's a question, eh? Calculate the mass of 0.4 moles of calcium. Hapa chini ukimeandikiwa Ca equals to 40. Calculate the mass of 0.4 moles of calcium. I believe you are up and down working on that particular question. I hope we are doing this question. So where are we starting from? How can we attempt this question? This question is very simple, especially for somebody who knows that if you want to calculate the number of moles, it is given by mass over molar mass. If you have this, then everything becomes simple. Why? Because you know, if they want to get the mass, mass is going to be molar mass. You multiply with moles, which is going to be 40 times 0.4. Then you will get 16 grams. That's okay. Another question? But ukiwa na swali kama kuna kitu utaelewa, you tell me, I will explain. Calculate for me please, the moles of aluminium in 13.5 grams of aluminium. You have been told the mass of aluminium is 13.5 grams. Calculate its moles. Where will you start from? Kila mtu amemalizana na hivi. Calculate the moles of 13.5 grams of aluminium. Where will you start from? Tutaanzia wapi? Alafu kuna kitu lakini ndawapea. Sipataka kuwapea. Aluminium hapa chini andika An equals to 27. Hebu mnipe answer hii. Calculate the moles of 13.5 grams of aluminium where aluminium has a molar mass of 27. Hiyo nayo, hiyo mpaka mnipeanza, hiyo msiponipeanza, I will end the lesson there. I'm a typical story. So, give me the modes here. We will do it together. I will show you how it should be done. Hey, the best I'll try. I'm waiting for the answer. The 11 of you who are watching, hey, sasa fanya nimesema watu wakatoka out of class. I'm just asking, give me the moles of 13.5 grams of aluminium. Is that too much to ask Bevan? That's not a lot. That's a very simple concept. Sindio? Tumefika halfway kweli ya holiday. Ndio bado bado holiday ni break. But ndakuwa na keep busy. So make sure you always be joining my lessons daily. Daily. Except tomorrow ndakuwa church, so kesho tunawaacha mpumzike, lakini sasa those other days, by the way, every day from 2 mpaka 4 tunapiganga lessons zingine hapa noma sana. Kuna mtu amenipea, I was just waiting for one person. Beverly, ukifika shule utaniambia which revision book ya chemistry unataka. And kuna mtu anaitwa Pauline Mokusu, I don't know kama hapo kwa hii lesson ama yuko pia akifika shule ataniambia ndambea kitabu gani ya chemistry. Tuongea na Mr. Buya, yeye ndio anakuanga na kitabu, uniambie ni kitabu gani unataka ama ya Mr. Ugo, so that it can help you revise chemistry. Na masterpiece, kuna vitu vingi, so you will tell me. Now, how can we proceed about this? Acha tunafuta kalamu inaandika kwanza. Then niko na kalamu hapa inaandika ndani kando. Hii kwanza iende. Letter selection. Then iende nyingine. Ndio sasa hii inakaa na hapa. Sasa twende nyingine. Hii si mbaya, ikaya hapa. Na hii hiyo si mbaya, lakini lazima pale. Hii pia si mbaya, itaniokolea siku nyingine. Now, look at this now. I want to confirm that Beverly, if Beverly is right or wrong. So, we say if you want to calculate moles, it is mass over molar mass. So it's going to be mass, which is 13.5 over 27. By the way, 13.5 times 2 is 27. So 13.5 divided by 27 is 0.5 moles. Beverly, hapo uko sawa. Hiyo nayo umepata vizuri. That is 0.5 moles. Another question tonight. Lakini bwana watu wasemanga tonight na hata kama ni mjani. Watu wasemanga tonight. Nataka nipeane swali lingine. Wacha tu swali ya mwisho alafu tuingie kitu inaitwa empirical and molecular formula. Nipeane swali moja tu. Calculate ndio hizi. Calculate the mass of 0.3 moles of carbon. Calculate the mass, we are looking for the mass now, of 0.3 moles of carbon. There is information I'm not giving you. Kama mko serious man. I'm giving you 1 minute to fanya kitu haraka haraka. Calculate the mass of 0.3 moles of carbon. Na tuharakishe kidogo tu. Naomba tuharakishe kidogo tu. Andrew Koskei, thank you, that's very correct for the previous question. So I'm asking, calculate the mass of 0.3 moles of carbon. Hiyo ndio tunawangojea. Uniambie. Koskei, Andrew, which school are you? Unajua tunangojea nipe wazo hapa. Sawa. Taka tuingie kitu inaitwa empirical and molecular formula. But before that, kuna concept kadogo. Nataka tufanye kama contest. How to write chemical formulas. First tu kidogo haraka. We just use 10 minutes. I see whether you guys knows how to write chemical formulas. So, remember that from Alana. Anybody else who is still working on this? What could be the mass? What could be the mass? Because of time, allow me, and also because I've gotten a response. Mass, kwanza kama haujashika ya kwamba mass inapeanwa aje, unaenda kando kwanza, hapa kando. Unasema teacher alisema ukitaka kucalculate moles, it is mass over molar mass. Now, because I want to get the mass, what will I do? How to go? Molar mass times the moles. Sasa ile swali kidogo nataka tujiulize sisi wote ni kuna kitu sitawapea molar mass ya carbon. Intentionally si kuwapea because nilipata kama mfikirie. What is the molar mass of carbon? Niandikia hapo kwa comment section. What is the molar mass of carbon? Haraka kidogo. Nilikuwa nimesema at the beginning of the lesson. Na tuharakishe. What is the molar mass of carbon? Niliwaambia sio kila saa mtapewa, saa zingine mtanyimwa. Sawa. Haya. Ndio wapi sasa? Nimekataa kuandika. 12. C equals to 12. So 12 times 0.3. Kwanza wachana na decimal. 12 times 3 is 6. Now bring the decimal back. 3.6. Because you are calculating mass grams. Are we together? So your answer should be 3 or 6. I just want us to write the following 10 chemical formulas. Wajana na chemical symbols. Chemical symbols ni za form 1. Hiyo surely hiyo kidogo tusisumbwane nayo. Kama utui tafuta KL book 1. Kaa chini, angalia hata si KL book 1. You are at home. Just download periodic table. Periodic table imekupangia vizuri from element number 1 up to element number 150 something. When we were in campus, we used to capture those elements. All of them. Those elements inaongezeka day by day because scientists are not sleeping. They are discovering more elements day by day. So unapata sahi it's almost 160 something heading to 170. So before they discover more, tafuta periodic table. In fact, in high school, we always tell you kwanza answer at the first 20. Who can call me to tell me the first 20 elements? Let me pin my number here. If you can call me, nakuweka loudspeaker hapa sahi. Uniambie the first 20 elements. Kwanza ni kwa kama nimeandika namba yangu vizuri. Yes. The first 20 elements. Kianza na hydrogen all the way back calcium. Now, sitaki tuongelee maneno ya chemical symbols ati sodium ni Na, carbon ni C. Sio nini hiyo ni tapia sitaki. Hiyo ni yako. Tafuta notes, soma vizuri. Aya. Kitu nataka tufanye, we are only doing 10 examples on how to write chemical formulas. Nakuwa nasema, if you are in a position to type very fast, then for me, I will place it the answer there. So only 10. Then singine utaenda kutafutia, ukirevise, ukisonga mbele. Number 1, sodium carbonate. Andika sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. Let me clear the board. Sodium carbonate. If you know how to write sodium carbonate, can you type it very fast there? 10 seconds remaining before I write the formula of sodium carbonate. I'm waiting to see if there is anyone who knows how to write the chemical formula of sodium carbonate. Just some good take. Sasa nikiandika vibaya watu watasema nini? Jamii tutasema nini? Stella, great. That is lakini usiweke unit Stella. So ainanga units because it is a ratio. The formula for sodium carbonate is written as, look here. That is the formula for sodium carbonate. How did we reach to agree the Na2CO3? Why? They do what we call exchange of valencies. There is exchange of valencies. There is exchange of valencies. You know, sodium, kama kawaida, we all know it has a valency of 1. Kabisa. Then we have carbonate is a radical. So carbonate inaandikwanga hivi. It has a valency of 2. So they exchange their valencies. Hii inakuja huku, hii inakuja huku. So at the end of the day, we will have sodium ikiwa na 2. Then the one here from sodium will come now downwards mahali kuna carbonate CO3. Then you put in the bracket 1. I will tell you why. If it is 1, we remove it. Are you together? We remove that 1 because a scientist like you and I knows that ikiwa hivi, it is 1. So, lakini make sure pia hakuna hii space. So, unaandika ikiwa 1 compound, sodium carbonate. That is the first one. Twende number 2. Twende number 2, sulfuric 6 acid. Write for me the chemical formula of sulfuric 6 acid. Sulfuric 6 acid. I'm giving out 3 seconds. Enoch Angoso. That must be my student by the name Abigail. Thank you, that's correct. We are writing for sulfuric 6 acid. We are only doing 10. Then we are upon the PPR moles. Why am I focusing on this? Because you will be required. What we are going next is this concept in the mole. Sulfuric 6 acid. Now, nikishapata response moja kama ya Abigail, I will proceed. Sulfuric 6 acid inaandikwa H2SO4. How did we agree that the H2SO4 is the chemical formula, not symbol, chemical symbol for sulfuric 6 acid? Remember, it is made up of a sulfate and a hydrogen ion. Look here. Now, if the sulfate ion, the S up and 4, up and 2 negative. Hydrogen ion, equal 1 charge, meaning the valency is 1, the valency here is 2. Let them exchange the valencies. It's going to have H2SO4. If it is 1, don't waste time to transfer 1. 1 is 1. And this is how we can get the chemical formula for sulfuric 6 acid. Next. I can need the next. Are you ready? Write for me the chemical formula for nitric 5 acid. 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 Don't fear to type there. There's no problem. But here we type, at least I have 4 people who are answering very fast. We have Ongoso, we have Koskei, then we have Beverly Alana. Beverly, the promise kitabu. She's been following all my programs. Now, nitric 5 acid. Nitric 5 acid. Nitric 5 acid. Nitric 5 acid. Kuna mtu haya amepata ya 3. Nitric 5 acid. I will write the formula here as HNO3. My camera went off, but right now it's okay, don't worry. Nitric 5 acid. So it's made up of hydrogen ion and nitrate. So kila mtu akona valence ya 1. So when they exchange their ones, you will have let me correct something. I know kuna wengine hapo wanafuatilia lakini hawataki comment. Let me make a correction on this. I was teaching a student, was it yesterday? I'm at the other day, and the mistake that student made in writing chemical formulas was this, and I'm feeling like I should share with you. Maybe you are making that mistake. Ameandika tu vizuri hivi lakini hapa ameweka plus, hapa akaweka minus. Kwa sulfuric 6 acid akaandika H2 plus 2 minus. Ni sawa lakini the moment you've written the chemical formula, you drop these things. Wachana nazo. Don't bring them again. Are you together? Don't bring them again. So inaandikwa hivi. Aya. My next chemical formula that I wanted to write. My next chemical formula, are you ready? My next chemical formula. Aluminium phosphate. Aluminium phosphate. So before you write the chemical formula, just choose it's made up of what and what. E is made up of aluminium and the phosphate ion. So make sure you know the radical, what do you call this? Valency for each one of them. Aluminium phosphate. Kutoka number 4 na tunaenda number 10. So you see we are looking behind kidogo. Aluminium phosphate. Yes. Let me clear the board. Ili nikishapata reply moja, I proceed. Na pia nisipopata reply, I will proceed. And check on my other videos that I've been doing daily. Kama wewe ni mtu wa kwanza leo. Ngoja nimepata answer yako. Can I proceed? Can I give you how to write the chemical formula of aluminium? Phosphate. So tuanzie hapa. Aluminium. Angalia hapa everybody, kila mtu angalia hapa. We have aluminium with a valence of 3. Si mnajua ni kwa nini iko na valence ya 3? Si mnajua electronic configuration ama electronic arrangement of aluminium 283. Hiyo 3 ya mwisho ndio hii. Then phosphate inakuanga na oxygen ngapi? 4. Sawa. PO4 3. So pia iko na valence ya 3. Kama nini? Aluminium. Sawa. So when they exchange itakuwa AlPO4. That is it. This is how to write aluminium phosphate. Write for me aluminium carbonate. We are doing in number 1, 2, 3. We are doing number 5. Aluminium carbonate. The kusia mali various concepts are required. Aluminium carbonate. We are doing for aluminium carbonate. Ukibazana aluminium carbonate, no, okay. Maanza kwanza ndio ni aluminium carbonate. I will be doing it in the next few seconds. Just kidogo tu. Doing for aluminium carbonates, remember we are in the topic more, but the concept of writing of chemical formulas is very important. That's why nimeamua kwanza kuifocus hapa. we are doing aluminum carbonate. I'm buying some minutes. Now to for the case. So aluminum carbonate. I will guide you on how to build them. Aluminium do you? By the way, capital L because the formula for aluminium should be capital A small l. I think I need to visit my nursery teacher and I be Nivi ama Nivi. Can capital now aluminium carbonate inaandikwa hivi CO3 2 negative, so iko na valence ya 2. So E2 ikuja hapa 3 enda wapi huko, so you have AN2 then CO3 angalia hapa, make sure you put the brackets. Do you know why we are always insisting on putting the brackets the way 3? Let me explain that. If you write this, ukiandika tu hivi aluminium, unajua hapa sitaweka bracket because aluminium ni one element. Then CO3. Naweka hapa 3. Bila kuweka bracket. So what is this now? No, unless we weke bracket kuonyesha this 3 is for both oxygen and carbon. Aluminium carbonate. Now, next. Potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide. Maura, ambil dia pada mana dia cai? Pekak. Naona mvua imenyesha sana. Aya, nilikuwa na huku Limuru it is raining. Na mlibai chai by the way. Si mnaona na chai. Ni baridi sana. Aya, now tuko na ba? Hapa tunaandika aluminium carbonate. Potassium hydroxide. We are looking for potassium hydroxide. Ndio nimezoea kila siku afternoon na kuzanga hapa na kunywa maji. Lakini sasa leo you know by the way tumekaa for so long. Tumekaa for so long kama kutenyesha Limuru. When I first came to Limuru around 2019 nikianza kufunza huku, Limuru was Limuru. Ilikuwa baridi daily yani. In fact there was a day I stayed for a whole month without seeing the sun. But nowadays tunaenda for 3 months kuja mpaka unashangaa hii. In fact there was a day about some examiners who were come to mark exam in our school. So they came on they reported on Sunday. The senior examiners reported on Saturday, then the others reported on Sunday. So they started marking on Monday, Tuesday for Kisoka Bay. So on Wednesday, when I was giving them some things they told me, kumbe hata Limuru si baridi. I tried to convince them Limuru kwa inapanga baridi. So wakasema since tufika hapo on Sunday, it's been just very sunny. We've enjoyed the sun of Limuru. There is no. Nikajaribu kwa convince nikashindwa, nikasema I wish to end from nowhere. Ile baridi yetu ya Limuru itokee so that it was self-explanatory. Let me tell you, the following day, on was it on Thursday? Limuru ikawa Limuru. Ile ukienda kwa barabara una drive na very low speed because in fact hata ukiweka ile light ya fog imeandikwa fog light lakini hiyo foka itakuwa crystallized. So you never know who is in front. So leo limuri imekaa hivyo. So we are doing potassium hydroxide. We are doing potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide is made up of potassium with a valency of 1 and hydroxide with a valency of 1. So it gives potassium hydroxide. Kuna mtu aliwahi when I was teaching in one of the lessons, so nikapeana text. So when I went down checking nani ameandika vizuri, nikapata mwanafunzi ameniandikia potassium hydroxide. Na mega hapa wana. Okay, zamani. Easy. Okay, mimi napata kazi. Was she correct? Can you tell me, was she correct? Huyu mtu ungembea right ama wrong huyu? Hebu niandikia right ama wrong, nijue wewe ungefanya nini huyu? This one is right. But now it shows that she's still very young in the field of science. Anafaa kugrow. Anafaa kuwa mtu mkubwa. Anafaa aje mchezo ndogo na andika kwa. It's still correct. No problem, but hapa.
Odi?
Sasa?
Poa.
Aya, shika hii unipe hiyo.
Mcho hii imewekwa na chapo.
Kwa hivyo na chapo. Aya, sawa, haina shida.
Kumenyesha.
Mvua imenyesha sana. Aya, sawa.
Sawa.
Aya. Nilikuwa naletewa energizer. Niendelee. So that's how it's between potassium hydroxide. Now, ya pili niandikie ya calcium hydroxide. Naandika hivi. Right for me for calcium hydroxide. There is something small. It's going to vary. In the meantime, you allow me to take a sip of the tea while the lesson is on. Abigail, ni sawa, but huyu akona concept We are writing for calcium hydroxide, empirical and molecular formula. Calcium hydroxide. Calcium kuna valence ya 2. Hydroxide kuna 1. When they exchange the valences itakuwa alafu hii nimesema si lazima ikue. Now, let me ask you a question. Why is this bracket so necessary? Mbona nisiweke bila bracket? Let's go inaanza you can imagine that. Hydroxide is a radical that reacts with it. Thank you, Adi. Remember that someone has responded very well. Hydroxide is a radical that reacts as a unit. You see, the same way you can write calcium oxide. So now this one, which is an element, now in this case, the OH is reacting as a unit on its own with a unit charge. We call it like the one that Abigail is saying, a single unit, which is okay. Now, in this case, you will be telling us that these two, I'm targeting 10 to divide it to begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aya, kuna swali nataka kuwapea. Kwanza tuanzie hapa. What is the name of the compound Reiko together for the whole thank you bwana. Wewe hata inakuwa nikupea high. That's exactly. What is the name of the compound formed when steam and ion react? What is the name of the compound formed when steam and ion react? Niambie, inaitwaje? You can either give me the name or the formula. I will appreciate it in all cases. What is the name of the compound formed when steam and ion react? Unajua zile zingine, ukienda form 1 unaambiwa steam plus magnesium will give you magnesium oxide plus hydrogen gas. Si kweli? Except it applies that way in all the metals except for iron. Iron is a special case. What is the name of the compound formed when iron and steam react? Dagan niwapee jina, mnipee formula. Reiko, hawataki kunijibu hiyo? Ongoso, you have tried. That's a good trial. The name of the compound formed when iron and steam react is called tri-ion tetra oxide. And we tri-ion tetra oxide. triion tetroxide. Sasa hapa tuko na ion which is tri. Tri means 3. Hapa tuko na oxygen which is tetra. Tetra means 4. This is 3. So triion andika Fe na uandike 3, then O4. Hii inaitwa triion tetroxide. Tuko pamoja? Are you okay? Can you proceed? Yeah. Okay, before that, sawa. Niandikie formula ya iron 2 oxide. Na niandikie formula ya iron 3 oxide basi. Iron 2 oxide, iron 3 oxide. My target is 10, so this is number 8, so we still have number 9 and number 10. So write for me the formula for iron 2 oxide and iron 3 oxide. You need triion tetroxide. Write for me for iron 2 oxide and iron 3 oxide. Haya, nataka nianze na iron 2 oxide. Nataka tuanze na iron 2 oxide. Iron 2 oxide. So when I say iron 2, when I say iron 2, I mean let ion take a valency of 2. When I say iron 3, I mean let ion assumes the valency of 3, but the valency of oxygen remains to be 2. So in example iron 2, I mean ion O. Why? This is the question I cancel. That is stop by. E equal to 3, E equal to 2. So it's going to be 2O3. Tumeelewana? Yes, I think now up to that point we're doing well. So now we're going to start what we call a molecular formula. Molecular formula. Network is disturbing. I don't know how it is in your place. Surely, yeah, Nadi, Abigail, anasema network is very extreme. Network. Let me proceed, but ikileta shida ni. But anyway, empirical and molecular formula, wacha nisianze leo, nimeona. The way network inanisumbua. Wacha tuende maswali zingine kidogo. Wacha tuende, nataka nipeane maswali 3. Maswali ya kwanza ni you write for me the formula of ammonium nitrate. Then after writing for me the formula of ammonium nitrate, you calculate the percentage of nitrogen in ammonium nitrate. So anyone who is online and watching me right now, give us the formula of ammonium. Then proceed. After giving the formula or after writing the formula of ammonium nitrate, give us of nitrogen. Because ninaona kosea. Even right now naona ina upload. Aya, ammonium nitrate. Tayari kuna sukari mingi. Kunywa maji yale dilute. Naambianga watu sikupendani sukari lakini basi. Ammonium nitrate. Inaandikwa hivi. That is ammonium nitrate. Aya, calculate for me the percentage of nitrogen in ammonium nitrate. Reiko, you are giving me the formula of ion 2 ions and ion 3 ions. Note. Formula ion 2 oxide and ion 3 oxide, like my own tumeandika sawa. Aya, this is ammonium nitrate. Get for me the percentage of nitrogen in ammonium nitrate. So this is how we are going to do it. Let's get the whole RFM of ammonium nitrate. Nitrogen inakuwa na ngapi? 14. Si ndio? So inakuwa 14. Hii ni 4. Hii another 14. So plus 14. Ukiadd hizo zote ni ngapi? 14 plus 14 hiyo ni 28. 28 plus 4. 32 plus 48. This is 8, right? Okay, this is always 8. Now, because they want for this alone, nitrogen alone, it's going to be Sinibili. It's going to be 28 over 80 times 100. Wacha nifanye nione mwenye amepata. Because naona answers mbili. Naona 5%, naona that 5%. Let me find out who is correct. 2800 2800 divided by 80. So it's that 5%. That 5%. That 5%. Yes. That 5%. So if you have that 5%, sisi kwa nimeelewa penye apige. Umekalculate pia ya hydrogen na ya oxygen. Ni sawa. Haina shida. Which is very okay. Haya. When do you want us to have our next chemistry lesson and which topic? Monday afternoon, you are in our WhatsApp groups. Balik natumanga maswali to discuss on Monday from 2 up to 4. And as I've said, go and check our other videos that we've been doing all through. We've been doing several chemistry and physics. So when you are free, check on them and share with other students from other schools. So I'm waiting for the reply they do on Monday to discuss topic on chemistry. Tuesday in physics. Our timings are always from 2 to 4. 2-hour lesson. Between stoichiometric and ionic equation. I will differentiate it right now. Though in our next see the mole part 1, tutakuwa na mole part 2 na mole part 3. Na ni kama tutakuwa na mole part 4 pia. So when we say stoichiometric equation, these are equations which have been written and ratios. While ionic equations are the equations which we are only writing the ions which have undergone change. The ones we don't write in ionic equation, we call them what do you call those fans when mnaenda kwa uwanja na mchizi mpira mnakaa huko kando kando? Those ions which do not participate, what do we call them? Abigail? The ones which do not spectator ions. So we will call that particular equation an ionic equation. Yeah, it's called spectator ions. I want to sign out so much for having been my follower, including live lessons like this one for chemistry and physics. I will have examiners for maths, biology, all those in our session. Also, I would like to encourage this. Why should you do tomorrow what you can do today? That was, we were against procrastination. So even as a student, do not procrastinate your things. If you wanted to read a certain topic right now, please do so. If you have assignment to be done today, please do so. Do not say, I will do it tomorrow. No, tomorrow will come with its own things. Do it today. Do for today what belongs to today. Otherwise, I wish you a very nice weekend. I wish you all the very best. See you on Monday from 2 to 4. You can spread the gospel that we are always doing these lessons. This was Sir Alex, your chemistry, physics, and academic coach teacher.